Thursday. Yesterday we left with very heavy topics, and coincidentally, the Hindi name for Thursday is Guruvar, and that means heavy day. From Sanskrit, Guruvara, and Guruvara, compound of Guru and Vara. Vara means day, and then we go to Guru, which means heavy, from Proto-indo-European. Speaking of heavy, the liver is the heaviest internal organ. Let's explore a little bit of this organ. The liver is a pretty impressive organ. We can live without it. It's the only organ that it's able to regenerate itself. It's responsible for a huge, impressive amount of functions. So take care of your liver. Some cultures regard the liver as the seat of the soul. Many ancient peoples of the Near East and Mediterranean areas practiced a type of divination called haruspicy or haptomancy, where they try to obtain information by examining the livers of sheep and other animals. A bit strange. Hepatoscopy refers to the ancient practice of divination by examining the liver of sacrificed animals. It was a common practice in various ancient cultures, particularly in the Near East and Rome, where priests or diviners would inspect the liver's features, looking for patterns and markings that were believed to reveal omens and predict the future. So the belief that the liver is the seat of the soul is probably related to the Babylonian experience during the sacrifice of the sheep and the observation of the size, warmth, and blood of the liver, leading them to believe it as the repository of life itself, and reading the liver of the sacrificial animal to predict the outcome of war. In Plato and in later physiology, the liver was thought to be the seat of the darkest emotions which drive men to action, specifically wrath, jealousy, and greed. The Talmud refers to the liver as the seat of anger, with the gallbladder counteracting this. In Biblical Hebrew, the word for liver, kaved, also means heavy and is used to describe the rich, heavy with possessions. Let's take a look at bile. From Latin bilis, from Proto-Italic bestly, could instead be a derivative of a preform of bitly from Proto-Indo-European bid, to split off bite, referring to the substance's bitterness. Bilis in Latin means bile, but also anger and gall. So there is this relationship between bitterness and anger that probably originated from humorism. Humorism was a system of medicine detailing a supposed makeup and workings of the human body adopted by the ancient Greeks and Roman physicians and philosophers. So they believed that these substances, the blood, the bile, and the phlegm, would influence people's moods and actions. Now the whole sacrifice thing is pretty sinister, don't you think? Wait, that's actually right. Let's take a look at sinister. So the word sinister comes from Latin sinister, which means left hand or left side. In Italian is still sinistra, the word for left, and in French it used to be sinister, but they actually switched that. Probably because of religious beliefs, and now it's gauche. So continuing here with the etymology of sinister, from Proto-Italic sinisteros, of unclear origin, possibly a euphemism from Proto-Indo-European senis, which means morbid tinning, from sen, to seek, to gain. thus the direction of left as the more favorable side. Cognate with Sanskrit sanoti and saniyan, more useful, more advantageous. Now we're talking about bile, and in some language people make the phonetic switch with B. Baka and vaca, for example, vamos and vamos. And considering that some cultures associate the bile with anger. Let's take a look at vile. From Latin vilis, also vile. If you switch the letters around, you get evil. So from Latin vilis, maybe the word villain also comes from this. And Wesley's, the verbal adjective with passive meaning, which can be bought. From the root of Venus, so that is kind of a weird. So vilis in Latin means cheap and expensive. Base, vile mean worthless, cheap, paltry. So there's some sort of like relationship with value. Now when you take a look at Venus, which according to this one page means sail, we enter Venus from Proto-indo-European when, which means loveness, to wish to love. It doesn't indicate anything relating to sail, but it's pretty easy to see how the distortion would occur over here. Since now we're kind of moving towards the left side of the body where the heart is, the ancient Egyptians actually believed that the heart was the seat of the soul. So it's interesting to observe this contrast while some cultures believe that the liver, right side, was the seat of the soul, and then we move to the left side. And going from there, you can find this relationship with the left and many other aspects of Egyptian culture. Made an incision on the left side of the body. They also removed the brain from the left nostril. So we were talking about heart. What is love? Love isn't cheap or expensive. Love is free. Love cannot be defined. It's free of definition. And that is why we find the love is difficult to define. And then we take a look at define here. The finio, just set a limit, to bound, to end. Now to end this Thursday, hopefully it wasn't as heavy. Tomorrow we can talk about lighter things.